Hello, my friends and gems. We are simulcasting here to both Facebook and YouTube is about to go live. And I'm going to share with you. I got to get always have to hit the mute button when we go. Hello, my friends. Yep. Okay. And here we are. All right. So, welcome, my friends and gems, to 11 Money Secrets TV. I have a little surprise today. I actually have more than one surprise today for you all. I have Barbara Hummel, who is in San Antonio, Texas. She is one of our recently promoted managers in our group of over 700 doctors and holistic care practitioners. And Barbara is part and parcel. She's actually at the root cause of this surprise today. So I want to share her with you because she is phenomenal and she's very fun and exciting. And she played Santa Claus. She sent me this box. And so we are going to open this live on camera. And then Barbara is going to share with us all sorts of information about what's in the contents of this box and why it's relevant to you and what you need to know that you may have not known before prior to this broadcast. Does that make sense? Okay. So, Barbara, do you want to do a drum roll for me while I'm opening this? Let's see. So while I'm opening this box, for those of you who are in San Antonio, who are in Texas, Barbara is a stem cell activation specialist as well. She is one of our managers. She's actually qualifying for director right now, and she's got a couple chiropractors and other individuals in her that she has started herself personally on stem cells. And can you guys see what this is? So instead of being Santa Claus today, I get to be the little kid under the Christmas tree going, wee! The mystery continues. So I gotta open another box. I love it. This is packed the way I pack and do gifts. This is awesome.
There may be a smaller one in there too.
We'll find out.
Because there should be two things.
Oh, really?
Surprise!
Surprise. Peekaboo. Okay. Ooh. Looky what I have here. Ooh. This is probably one of the highest grades olive oil that I think I've ever held in my hand. Oh my gosh. Thank you. So it says 1836, a Texas olive company. And it says here, extra virgin olive oil. And it has the country of Texas on here. I always call it the country of Texas because Texas is so big. And the few times that I've driven from one end to the other, it takes days. It's so huge. Thank you, Barbara. So tell me, give me information about this liquid gold, because being of Italian and Spanish ancestry, olive oil is a big deal for us in Italy. We consume about 1 liter per person a week, believe it or not.
Mm-hmm.
And we take shots of olive oil and we use it like a syrup, just like you put dressing all over a salad. We put that not only over salad, we put it over everything, vegetables, fish, you name it. There's no shortage. It's used very lavishly. It's not drops and so forth. So go ahead and tell us why this olive.
Okay, so the olive oil, the actual olive company is owned by a woman. Her name is Carrie Thornhill. She owns the ranch. She runs the ranch. She operates the orchard. She is the one and only person that does that. She actually harvests it. She brings it to the miller. She does it all. So let me read a little bit about her company. For owner and producer Carrie Thornhill, the dream of building an olive orchard began in 2012 with a desire to pay homage to her maternal grandparents and their decades of support to Asherton and its community. The orchard's first commercial production of extra virgin olive oil was harvested in fall 2016 and bottled as 1836, a Texas olive company. And in case people don't know, that was the year that Texas seceded. So that's why it's called 1836. In March of 2017, 1836 made its debut on the shelves of Barings in Houston, and since then has grown to include a retail presence at gourmet shops throughout Houston, Austin, and Central Texas. In September of 2018, 1836 signed a contract with Williams and Sonoma to be the official Texas olive oil vendor to their Texas stores. This partnership marks one of our greatest achievements as a Texas producer. 1836 was also featured as the exclusive extra virgin olive oil at the 2018 Truffle Masters culinary event in Houston. 1836 believes in the Texas olive industry and in supporting local agriculture and women farmers everywhere. A family legacy in Asherton, Texas. The Carrie purchased 100 acres in Dimmitt County. After advice from other olive growers, our orchard was installed that September on 40 acres using a medium density planting. The olive varietals, Arbequina, Mission, Pequal, and Tosca, were chosen for the climate and for the flavor profile they create. The ranch hosts amazing wildlife living and traveling throughout the property. They have wonderful hogs, Olivia, Bella, and Gigi, the dogs, free-ranging chickens, and one happy rooster. The ranch is also home to deer, hogs, quail, dove, turkey, snakes, rabbits, and even bobcats. Every stage of orchard development, from land clearing to planting, can be seen in a video on her website, A Texas Girl's Olive Orchard, which was posted to YouTube in February 2013. Carrie began farming olives in 2012 in Dimmitt County, Texas, where her family enjoys an almost 100-year presence. She works for Texas olive growers and organizations to support and educate growers in Texas. She has served as director and secretary for the Texas Olive Growers Association and Council, and director secretary for the Texas Association of Olive Oil. She's also the director for Subdivision 1 of the Soil and Water Conservation District. She holds a BA in communications from the University of Texas at Austin, and her corporate career, includes investment banking and corporate communications for the New York Stock Exchange and NASDAQ listed companies. So Carrie was actually working in the ivory tower and gave that all up to start farming. And she is a woman-owned, minority-owned business here in Texas. And her flavor profile of olive oil has been rated by the California rating of 98% extra pure virgin olive oil.
Wow. That is remarkable. No wonder William Sonoma wanted to bring her on as a partner. That's incredible. That's a beautiful partnership. And I love that not only is this woman-owned, it's a woman-owned business and a Texan woman, but this is made in the USA. We're supporting a business, employees, the label makers, the bottle makers, they're sourced from the US. So you're helping keep employment and capitalism moving in within the United States.
Absolutely.
And that it's also 98%. That's like one of the highest ratings. I don't think I've ever heard of a rating that high for olive oil. So that's quite extraordinary.
Before you taste it, smell it.
Very fresh.
You can smell that. Yep.
Yeah. Wow. Now, I have a point of reference because when I lived in Italy in 2019, I actually lived on an estate. Casamora is actually an olive tree estate where they have not just moras are the blackberries, but they also have olive groves, and they actually harvest their own olive trees there. But it's a very small, they don't ship internationally and so forth, so it's just very regional in Sicily. So, and I got to tell you, this smells like right up there. Very distinct. Wow. Smells really, really good.
Smells very clean and green.
Very clean, very green. It's
Yep.
not rancid at all. Because oftentimes, olive oil that you buy here, at least in California, oftentimes you open it and you're like, oh man, it's rancid already because it
Yep.
wasn't stored properly, or it's a lower grade, even though it says extra virgin or extra, extra virgin olive oil. Wow, that's really, really fine. Okay, next. So we actually drink shots of olive oil back in the old country. A lot of Europeans do this, especially in Italy and in Greece, and I'm part Greek as well. And so we are very big consumers of olive oil. So it's very common for people to not just drink a shot of olive oil in the morning. It's great for your digestive system. I can go into all the different benefits of olive oils. Olive oils are very rich in polyphenols. Um, what else can I tell you? It's great to use. I go back and forth between olive oil and coconut oil, but I would use this one for oil pulling, which is basically you take a mouthful of olive oil and you swish it in your mouth for
Mhm.
anywhere from 3 minutes to as long as 20 minutes, and it whitens your teeth and it pulls all the bacteria, not just on the surface levels of your gums and your teeth, but in between your teeth and even below the gums, below the visible tooth, which is in between the tooth and the gums. Some people suffer from gingivitis and things like that. Something as simple as oil pulling. I wouldn't use maybe as high a grade of this, but then again, when it comes to your health, maybe you do want to go as high as for that. I really want to taste more of this, so I'm eager to do a shot of this here. And ooh, look at how beautiful the color. You guys see that on Facebook? This is like a double shot. I don't know if you can tell, it's a kind of an extra tall. It's like two shots, so that's why I'm filling it just halfway. Pretty shot glass. I got this in Cancun. So, it really does smell good. Mm. Wow, very smooth, very buttery. Oh, to have this with Italian bread or French bread or focaccia bread or
Even
sour,
sourdough.
would be incredible. Mm.
So the other little package that's in that box is the pink Himalayan salt. Because when you add just a teeny bit of that to her olive oil, it actually brings the flavor profile out more.
Oh my gosh. I didn't realize it in there. Holy smokes. Oh, and I see now your card. Oh, it really is Christmas. Oh, look at how beautiful. Okay, I love this. So look at that's 1836, a Texas olive company. They're on Facebook, IG, Twitter. What a cool logo. And look at here is her name. Carrie Thornhill, Houston, olive producer, Dimmitt County, Texas. There's her number. You guys, if you want to call, I want to make sure that's nice and big. I have no financial interest in this. Neither does Barbara. We are here just because we are fans of this incredible American-made product by this woman who is a very dear friend of Barbara's. You can see the website, www.1836oliveco.com. My Facebook friends, I'm not ignoring you. I'm going to make sure. Looks like this image is turned around, so I will put the link to the YouTube video so you can watch it in the entirety from there. But you can see here her phone number, her website, all of the information is there. And this is the front of the card, 1836. You see Texas there in the middle of the United States. You can see the logos for Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And I'm just going to read the phone number for those of you on Facebook who don't want to wait to get the link. The number for 1836 Olive Company is 713-818-5487. And for those of you who just want to, maybe you might want to email her, it's Kerry, Kerry, at 1836oliveco.com. And then, of course, the website, www.1836oliveco.com. Now, I got to tell you guys, I'm, of course, as you can imagine, a very big fan of olive oil. So I use olive oil very, very, not sparingly, very lavishly, almost every night when whatever it is that I'm having. If I have, let's say, I have a bowl where I've put arugula in there, and then I'm putting rice, and then I'm putting salmon, and I'm putting bell peppers, onions, artichokes, you name it. Let's say black beans I'm adding on there. I will douse it with olive oil.
Mhm.
That's how you get through a liter of olive oil in a week, because you're dousing your food with it. And then, of course, in the morning, it's great to have that shot because it's super good for your skin. The other thing is, I put this all over my face. I do take olive oil. Olive oil is really rich in antioxidants. And I really think that one of the reasons why I've had really good, of course, genetics do play a part of it, but I have not worn liquid makeup. I wore liquid makeup for a short time when I was in my mid 20s. And then by the time I was in my late 20s, I stopped it because I realized that there are chemicals in liquid makeup that I just don't really want on my body. And so by the time I was like 26, I started using Bare Minerals, and I was just looking at more organic, clean makeup because
Mhm.
from having been pre-med, I knew that your skin is your third kidney and you're absorbing things, like that. So I've been using olive oil to clean my face instead of using like baby oil or anything else. Heaven forbid you use petroleum jelly. Some people use Vaseline petroleum jelly, and I'm going, wait a minute. Petroleum jelly, it's a petroleum based product. Petroleum is a known carcinogen. Why would you be putting that anywhere on your skin or anywhere on your body for any way, any reason? You can take a bath in olive oil. In fact, if you do a little bit of history digging, and you don't have to dig that far to realize that the Egyptians and a lot of people from the Middle East, originally people would not bathe every day with water. They would use olive oil, and then they would use the edge, the dull side of a knife to get the olive oil off their skin, because that's how they would bathe, because water was not abundant in a lot of different places in the Middle East. And so this is fantastic for your hair, fantastic for your skin. I can't say enough about using it under your eyes, on your eyelids. Rich in a lot of different vitamins and minerals, rich in antioxidants. This is one of my secrets, is using this. And I used to have a tendency towards dry skin. I knock on wood, the last 10 years I haven't had that. But I think it's because I do consume a good amount of this. And so I would highly recommend you guys just try it. Just try one of these and see how you like it, and start to experiment, because I am going to put this on my face for sure. No, my forehead, every one of us, we have expression lines. I will never get rid of these smile lines. These are my purpose lines because I'm always smiling. So that's kind of a permanent fixture. But as far as my forehead and everything else, between this and then Himalayan salt, this increases your electrolytes. My friends and gems, you guys, if you didn't know that before, know this. You can only stand to benefit from taking a pinch of Himalayan salt. I'm curious to try it with the olive oil, but in your daily consumption of water, take a little pinch. It'll increase the electrolytes, which will just move the electricity and the light in your body. If you're on stem cell activation patches, this is a must. Ooh, I can't wait to taste this. And I'm going to have a little more olive oil here. Can you guys see the Himalayan olive oil? And it's also made by the same company, 1836. How cool is that? So, as you know, you only need a little pinch. Very smooth. So, a little more, just so I can try it with the, can't hurt you. Those polyphenols are awesome for your system. So, I'm going to use just a little pinch. I don't know if you can see on camera. I'm going to show you guys tiny little pinch because it is salt. So So I'm just going to put a tiny little pinch. Mmm. Mmm. It makes it a little like sweeter.
Yeah.
Mmm. This makes for perfect lip gloss. Not joking. So, my friends and gems, is there anything else you want to tell us about this incredible product, this olive oil? And I'll probably we'll do another follow-up video and we'll go through and maybe share with everyone all the different benefits of olive oil. For those of you who aren't aware of Dr. Stephen Gundry, he is a big proponent. He talks quite a bit about the benefits of olive oil, the benefits of the polyphenols that you have in olive oil, and also about how not only do you have a high concentration of polyphenols in the actual olive itself and the olive oil, but you have an even greater concentration in the leaf of the olive tree. And so in his particular case, I've never tried this before, but I know that he actually takes olive oil tree leaf extract. He actually consumes that in his diet. I have not taken it to that level or that extent, but I'm more than happy to share that information. And I would encourage you you can go to YouTube and just look up his information on there. I know that you want to say something about the bottling. Do you want to share that with our friends here that are watching, Barbara?
Sure. I don't know if y'all noticed how dark the bottle is, but if you ever bought olive oil in the store and it's clear, that is not good olive oil. Olive oil will go bad if it's exposed to the light. It has to be in a dark, either black, brown, blue. It's got to be a dark bottle in order to preserve the olive oil. Otherwise, it will deteriorate very quickly. So
mhm. It oxidizes.
When you're buying olive oil, you want to make sure you're looking at for those dark bottles. The other thing is when you're buying olive oil in a grocery store, like, in Albertsons or one of those, you're almost positively not getting 98% olive oil. So if you're interested in pure, almost 100% pure olive oil, this goes from harvest into the hopper to the mill within 24 hours. So that is one, yeah, it's extremely, extremely fresh. And she does not mix it with anything else. It's just her varietals that are in that bottle. There are no other oils added into it. So if you're interested, go to her website. She actually has a membership program where you can get a certain number of oils shipped per quarter. And it kind of saves you some money in ordering it, because since it is a boutique olive oil, the price point is a little higher than you would pay when you're in a store. So there is a savings if you sign up on an auto ship and you get signed up for her continuity program.
So I would encourage you guys, my friends, my gems, for those of you who aren't used to consuming large amounts of olive oil, or who maybe are just going to get started on, getting your health in order and adding this to the list of things that you're doing to improve the quality of your health and well-being, you might want to sign up for that membership and perhaps split it with a friend, because you're not sure that you'll be able to use it up in a timely fashion so it doesn't oxidize. Because if you're going to let it sit there for a year or more, it's not great. It's something you do want to consume right away. And if you're using it every day even if you're just using it on your salads every day, I would encourage you to consider just putting this on your salad along with balsamic vinegar. There's all sorts of other things that you can add on top of that will make it taste so delicious and yummy. Consider substituting, instead of butter, using olive oil. That's what we do back in the old country. Actually, even I do that here. We don't put butter on our bread. We put olive oil on our bread, but we put olive oil on everything. So you might want to consider, even if you have soup, you're making a chicken soup or you're making an egg drop soup, you pour in a shot of olive oil. Why? Because it tastes better and it's good for you. So it's just a matter of thinking about, just ways that you can consume it. You may or may not know, but one of the blue zones happens to be in Italy, happens to be in Sardinia, which is just a little north of, it's the island that's north of Sicily. I happened to have gone there when I lived in Sicily. And the blue zones throughout the world, we have 7 of them. We have one here in Loma Linda, California as well. There's also in Japan, there's in Costa. I've been to quite a few of the blue zones, interestingly enough. But the common denominator is that most of those regions of the world all eat olive oil. So that's one of the common denominators. So you might want to check it out. Some might say this is an acquired taste. Um, Bottom line is it's good for you. And for those of you who are very well aware of the sway test, which I have everyone on here, everyone that I start on stem cell activation paths, I talk about. Let's do a polarity test, reset, and do a sway test. You can sway test yourself to see how much olive oil perhaps you should be having on a weekly basis or on a monthly basis. Then you can kind of work it out backwards if you want to get that specific. That's always, of course, available to you. Anything
One
else
of the
you want-
ways one of the ways we use it, Lillian, if we saute or steam vegetables, we finish our vegetables off with some of that olive oil and a little bit of Himalayan salt. And every night we have a salad. We always use that olive oil on our salad. So, and then, I sometimes just take tablespoons full of olive oil just because it's so good. So I've never used it on my face, but you know what? I get my olive oil for free because she calls it her rent. So I am 2 hours in between here and where her mother lives in Houston. So she usually comes through, spends a night or 2 with us, and then she continues on to her mom's, and then the same thing on the way back. So she cuts up the trip in the car. So we get cases of olive oil as our rent.
Oh, that is absolutely, you are so blessed. Well, thank you so much for sharing this with me. I'm very honored and very excited, and I'm going to use it tonight with my dinner. So I'm very excited to have this, and that you would be so thoughtful to want to share it with me. And I'm excited to eventually getting to know Carrie, and when she's feeling up to it and she clears her schedule, I would love to have her come share the story of how this all came about. I think it's so fascinating how we find ourselves, living our life's passion and mission. And sometimes, it seems like everyone zigzags their way into where it is that we're supposed to be. And so I would love to hear what her story is and how that all came about. So thank you again, my friend and Jim. And I'm going to just show the front of this beautiful card that you sent. Look at you guys. Beautiful card. I like thinking of you. I like thinking of you too. I'm so lucky I get to talk to you almost every day now.
So one thing I have to share with you, I patched Carrie last Friday.
Oh,
She came to stay with us. She was extremely depressed, couldn't get out of bed, has been very, very sick for 3 months. She finally left my house on Tuesday. On Wednesday, I called her and I said, "How are you feeling?" And she said, "I am feeling about 70% better just from having the patches on for like 5 days."
wow.
So, and I did the X39, X49, Eon, and the Nirvana because she was so depressed. And she is doing so much better. So
Wow.
I
Just a week. 70% better in a week.
yes. So
Wow. That is awesome to think that you've been able to help a friend feel so much better. Oh my gosh.
absolutely.
That's so awesome.
Absolutely. And I can't wait to share these videos with her so she can see what we've done on her behalf for her business, because she truly is an amazing woman. Her family came from Mexico and immigrated to South Texas. So she is Mexican and she's a woman. So she's a maybe weeby, woman-owned, minority-owned business, and also made in the U.S. So for us to be able to support a woman-owned, minority-owned, U.S.-owned business, I think is a great thing for us to do.
Oh, beautiful story. Well, I look forward to meeting her. I look forward to hearing how she's progressing over the next 7, 14, 21, 30 days. And we'll just keep moving forward. And again, thank you. I'm very excited over this wonderful me, both the Himalayan salt. Does she have any other products aside from these two? Or are these
No,
her two?
she just sells the extra virgin olive oil and her Himalayan salt. Now, she did have a smaller bottle of olive oil, but she has sold out of the smaller bottles. So what we have to, the one thing we have to understand with her, she only has 40 acres of olives. So what she produces every year is just that amount of olive oil. So she probably has probably 3,000 to 4,000 bottles of olive oil every year. So she is truly a boutique olive oil. So once she sells out for the year until her next harvest in September, that's it. So
okay, so
if you want to get it now.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get on there tonight and get my order in, so I make sure I have olive oil for the rest of the year because I don't want to be without this. This is fantastic. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, Barbara. And
You are welcome.
On Facebook, you've got the information. I'll put it in the post as well. I'll put the YouTube link so that you can watch the whole thing also from that perspective. Thank you, Barbara. I know it's
You're
getting
welcome.
You're just home from work, so thank you very much, my friend and Gem, and you have a beautiful rest of your evening. Have a blast this weekend, okay?
Thank you. You too.
Ciao for now.
Bye.
Bye.